All right.
Whoa.
Well, hey, we're back at it.
Number two. Podcast number 2.
I want to thank everybody that did watch the YouTube video and has listened in on the Spotify, because we're now on Spotify. And the feedback has been tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
Hundreds of messages.
Yeah, my phone
calls, text, everything. Praising us for
people I've never talked to in my life that I know on Facebook.
Oh.
But people I've never talked to sending messages to myself and Kyle.
It was unreal. We had one negative comment.
One.
From Fall. Pissed off because he thinks we're making money on this, and we're not. I mean, this is not what it's about. We talked about this a little before we hit the record button, and please excuse my heavy breathing because I'm fat and that's how it is.
Well, we went on a hike before we started.
It took me 3 miles up in the trails there. It's like, holy cow. But that's not why we're doing this. We're wanting to expand the hobby. We're wanting to bring new people into the hobby. We're wanting to bring existing people into the hobby. And a lot of times we don't get to see each other unless we're at a show. Yep.
This is a good way to connect with people and have a actual conversation instead of being keyboard warriors on Facebook. It's kind of nice to have a human to talk to.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like he said, there's not going to be any ad reads or anything like that in this. Don't plan on making any money with it. I did activate on the Spotify that we have. If you want to give a donation, you're more than welcome to.
Totally up to you, not necessary at all.
Neither of us are broke by any means, so we don't expect anything out of anybody. We're here to have a conversation.
I do stand beside the interstate with a sign that says, not homeless, just need money for gas engines.
Yeah, need money for strippers.
Yeah, that never works for me.
Me either.
But
sorry, Mom.
That's so let's dive in. From the last time we had a lot of good feedback from Wayne Grinning.
Yes.
Huge asset to the hobby. Does amazing restoration work.
If you don't know Wayne, we mentioned this the last time, and before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we are very unprofessional, and this is the Should Run with Gas podcast. I am Chase. This is Kyle.
We forgot to do that.
That's all right. We're only 2 minutes in.
Okay. Just got to tinker with it and everything else.
Yeah. Nah, it's no editing.
Should require some tinker. We are not professionals by
any means.
Jeremy's.
We got a live. We have a live studio audience here.
He's sitting back there laughing at us and drinking his zero
sugar Sprite.
That's all right though. In his Elmer Fudd outfit.
Yep. It's turkey season. Wabbit season.
Gobble, gobble.
Anyway.
But we had the feedback was just unbelievable from a lot of big, I'm going to say names in the hobby, Wayne, Kurt Allman, just this multiple
Wayne,
people.
Kurt, the Eppings.
Yes. It was phenomenal.
Just to name drop a few people. For those of you on Facebook land, you know who these people are. For those of you that are listening that have no idea what this hobby is, these guys are, we'll compare this to the muscle car hobby or something, collecting cars.
The Chip Foose of the collector car hobby.
Wayne Grinning would be like the Chip Foose of the collector. The guy uses the latest technology when he needs to, CAD drawings for stuff that doesn't exist, and the caliber of engine that he works on is, museum quality. I hate using that term because I go to museums, Kyle goes to museums, and
I hate museums.
And we look at stuff, and that's all you can do is look at it. And a lot of the times when we go, unless it's, and I can't even say like the Henry Ford Museum anymore, which by no means am I knocking on the Henry Ford Museum, but it's stuff that we own. And you go to a museum, and they're like, don't touch that. And I'm like, why? I have one in the garage that I want to play with.
Yeah.
That, it's, if I break it, I'll buy it.
Whatever.
Or I'll fix it. But
so
whatever.
We are in Frazeysburg, Ohio.
Yeah.
At Chase's, this is Chase's storage section of his building.
Yeah, the cast iron Curiosities studio.
Yeah, this is it. Last time we were at my place.
Yep.
Next time we'll probably be at my place or somewhere. People were asking about. We mentioned Portland, Indiana.
Yeah, Portland. So in the last podcast, we're doing this podcast to get new people in here, like we mentioned. And some of the feedback that we got was people that are not in the hobby didn't know what Portland was. Well, Portland, Indiana is a giant swap meet, tractor show, and engine show.
I think it's the world's largest.
Probably.
I mean,
they have their own showgrounds. It is enormous. I don't know how many acres it covers.
No idea. It's huge.
But it is enormous. And they have multiple get-togethers in a year.
3 of them.
3.
Well, next week is the spring swap meet.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It is May 14th right now. So next week, like he said, is the swap meet. It is at the Tri-State
Steam and Gas Showgrounds.
Steam and Gas Showgrounds. If you want to look it up, you can. I'm going to link it in the description of the video. So if you want
Great swap meet. All kinds of stuff shows up.
If you like old stuff, it's worth going.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, there's multiple throughout the year. I'll link it in the description of the video.
And then there are big shows in August.
Yes.
They got the big show, then they got the swap meet, all combined. It's
show
huge.
And swap.
We go up there for a whole day. We used to spend a whole week up there. We would go from Sunday to Sunday. And we would get there on Sunday, and by Wednesday, we were ready to go home.
Yeah.
We were wore out, seen everything multiple times. I mean, you got to have a golf cart just it makes life a whole lot easier.
Well, and plus it depends on where you're set up at. And if you're set up sleeping next to the stamp plant, you don't get no sleep.
I sleep pretty good over there.
Do you?
During the spring swap meet, we usually kind of camp out back in that corner, and you just kind of get the rhythm of that the stamping mill going on, and it's kind of relaxing. But it's definitely a good time. And then people don't realize Coolsprings, Pennsylvania, the Coolspring Power Museum. Now, I mentioned I hate museums.
Engine Mecca.
This is a working museum. It is by far my most favorite place in the world.
I'm probably speaking for both of us, but we've both set up our shops probably because of Coolsprings, how their things are laid out. Maybe not so much what you're looking at in here if you're watching this on YouTube. Mm-hmm. This is more my storage side, but we have about 35 acres here, my wife and myself, and I have buildings, displays set up.
Cool. They're awesome.
And we went and looked at them. This is the first time Kyle's been here, and we went and looked at them. And the whole reason that I've done these displays, is because of Coolsprings, because I love going over to there and seeing the working displays. And like you walk into a building and it looks like it's been there for 100+ years, like an original installation, and it's just building after building after building like that. And I wanted that here. Coolsprings for me is 4 hours.
It's
for you, 6, 7,
6.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so I wanted it here, so I didn't have to go over there, drive 4 hours. So I'm making my own little Coolsprings. And then Kyle puns on the name of it for his show for Kyle Springs.
Yeah, we get the Kyle Springs show, but Coolspring is a big, fancy stuff. They got really nice stuff. We're just your common Joe stuff,
We made a comment after we did the last podcast. We went and looked at an A1 collection.
Oh,
and we got talking about going back to Wayne Grinning. A lot of these old engines have skids under them, or at least we call them skids. And Wayne and others call them presentation bases because that's what they are on these things. There's a lot of thought that goes into what these engines are sitting on. And we left, Kyle and myself left this collection last week, and Kyle looks at me and he goes, "We're skid people."
Definitely skid
we
people.
are not presentation-based people. We are skid people.
We are skid people.
Yeah. Blown away by that collection. It was.
It's phenomenal. Every time I go up there, it's just like, and I always joke with him. Do I need to rent a suit and a tie or a tuxedo and
put little booties on our feet? Yeah. So thank you for taking me there, by the way.
No problem. We have to go back and visit again.
I had a great time.
We kind of have I think we have an open door, invitation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and it's always awesome to go because he's got so much small stuff that it's just,
it was unreal. All the literature he has.
You'll never see the same thing twice. I walked by engines as like, well, where's this at? He goes, well, you walk right by it.
You walk right by it.
Well, I didn't.
Well, I was looking over here.
Over my head.
So.
But
But enough about our adventures.
Yes, that's what we've been up to the last 2 weeks. Anything? Have you been working on anything new?
Yeah, I had a 20-horse Bessemer that I wanted to move up the building. And again, shameless plug for my YouTube channel, Cast Iron Curiosities. I did another video on that, getting that old payloader I have running that's sitting back in the woods.
Cool. I could not imagine running that thing all day long, though. There's no way.
There's no way. It was a struggle to get it up here.
I don't even know if I could fit in the seat.
And the crazy thing about that,
I want to try.
If you had watched the video, I said I was going to get the brakes working on it. I didn't. My brakes was dropping the bucket down on the ground and just letting the bucket drag and stop me.
Easy enough.
It got sketchy a couple times. I didn't put.
Now, where was that Bessemer sitting? Up on the hill?
No, it was actually out front.
Okay.
It was over by the road on the driveway, and I had to skid it up the road.
Okay.
But the problem with getting it out, I was hoping that thing would lift it, because it at one time did lift it, but apparently she's getting a little weak. And
the engine is getting heavier. Gravitational pull.
Well, I think the amount of real estate that was stuck to the bottom of it,
gotcha,
probably had something to do with it. But nevertheless, I yanked it out and drug it up here. So that was that's what I've done in the last week. And
Good.
Yeah, same as like we talked last time. The YouTube, between my actual job and doing YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got any new purchases? I think I seen something, a little mini tractor.
We we bought a little mini tractor yesterday. We have a mini tractor collection.
Yeah.
Because more than one's a collection.
And when I say mini tractor, I'm not talking like toys, like scale
size tractors.
Scale size tractors.
Yep.
That look like
the real thing.
Yeah, a child could get on them and start plowing a field, and it wouldn't look odd.
We had the we had the Rumley, a little model half scale Rumley. Mm-hmm. It's got a 3-horse international McCormick Daring M engine on it. I've had that thing since I was like 8 years old, 10 years old, something like that, for years. And then a few years ago, I had the opportunity to buy a little Huber tractor, scaled down by a guy named Milt Dietz out of Dayton, Ohio. And he built multiple scale tractors in his time. Well, he passed away, and I found this thing in a barn up by Springfield, Ohio, Bell Fountain area. Bought that, brought it home, and then yesterday, actually Friday night, a friend of mine, up around the St. Paris, Ohio area, he says, hey, he goes, you might want to check this out. He sends me a picture of this little 816 McCormick Daring tractor scale model. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. I got to have it. So we went over, me and my wife, Rachel, and Bo, we all went over yesterday and picked it up yesterday morning. Still sitting in the shop. Haven't messed with it yet. Got busy mowing grass yesterday, life things. She's wanting to get chickens, so we had to get ready for that. Took a little nap, of course, things like that. But
priorities.
Yeah, that's right. Shop wise, just that come in. Going to try to work on that here later today. Been working on a little sandwich 1.5-horse engine.
Yeah, you sent me pictures. That was
very nice original engine. Yeah, I got to find a new piece of wood for the cart. There's not too many sawmills and stuff around me, so finding wood's kind of.
What do you need?
I just need a piece of hardwood, 11 inches wide, 34 inches long.
Okay.
Probably be bringing one home later today. Don't know.
Yeah, there's probably depending on where if we go over to Dad's. There's hardwood over there.
So just ordered a gas tank, a new gas tank from John Wanat. That guy, top notch work.
Yeah.
You can find him very easily in searches on Google and stuff like that.
Again, I'll link any of these guys.
Yep.
That was something that was commented a couple of times. Anything we talk about that I can remember. I'll link in the description. So
John is a great source for gas tanks, cooling tanks, stuff like that. He does amazing work. Prices are very reasonable. I ordered it on Wednesday. It was at my back door of the house yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's just like boom.
Now, is that something he had on the shelf?
It is. He had that one on his shelf. He does the greenhouse stuff full time. So I did order a tank for the 10-horse Foos Type J from him, which he don't have it done yet, which no big deal because I'll pick it up at Portland Fall Show.
Fall Show?
Yeah, in August.
I got to get there's a 8-horse famous sitting back there. I got to get a screen crew. And
I can get one for my 10-horse and a gas tank for my 10-horse.
I want to get. That's what he told me because I don't have one right now. But Portland in the fall, get a hold of me.
And they're so big to ship. There's just no way in hell, FedEx wouldn't destroy the damn thing.
Well, that's just it. I wouldn't stuff like that.
Right.
I wouldn't want to have. I'd go pick it up.
Just wait on it.
I'll figure.
But no, that's all that's going on in my realm of world. There, been working on the 1.5-horse tank cooled hot tube ignition engines.
Those things are cool.
Yeah. kind of been putzing around with those and whatnots, but it is what it is, you know. Other than that, getting ready for shows. We're getting ready to load up, like you said, here in a couple of weeks and go to we're going to Portland next weekend, yeah. And then about a month or so, we'll be going to Coolsprings for their June expo. Really looking forward to it. A lot of awesome stuff out there. I mean,
yeah.
They got the Diesel Centralia building, or however you say it.
Yeah, I seen it's all bricked up.
Oh, dude.
Looking awesome.
Amazing. It's amazing.
So I don't want to steal your thunder, but
I'll take it.
We are planning on setting up and doing a podcast or multiples.
Yes.
At Coolsprings on Friday, which whatever day that is, I don't know.
No idea.
Friday at Coolsprings.
Friday at Coolsprings.
Somewhere we're going to set up. None of that stuff's figured out because we literally just
We are literally going to wing it.
We wing it. We have a few guys that want to be on the podcast and a few guys that we would like to have on the podcast. People that I feel and Kyle feels would be interesting.
Huge assets to the engine hobby.
Interesting to interview because of who they are and the things that they've done for the hobby. You know, Gas Engine Magazine has done interviews and things like that, but I don't know how much reach that has anymore, and not knocking Gas Engine Magazine because I still love getting it. And
I'm still a subscriber of it.
yeah, by no means am I knocking Gas Engine Magazine, but
it has gotten thinner in the last several years. There's still a lot of good content in there.
Yeah, and I know you have been in it. I've been in it with the Young Engine
I've never been in it.
You never been in it?
No, never been in it.
All right, well.
You have.
I've been in there a couple
I
times.
think you were posing with something. I don't remember.
I think.
Which one was it?
It was the thermal back here.
Was it a thermal?
Yeah, it was a thermal.
I got that copy somewhere.
Yeah. There's that, and then when I was a kid back in the young days, I did some engine drawings, and they got featured in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never been in it. I've tried to contribute my level of expertise on things. Just like just leave him out of this.
Speaking of experts, by no means are we experts. So don't be thinking that we are. We're just two guys BSing.
I do a lot of hack work. I have every tool.
As do I.
I do have every tool to machine anything I want and possibly need. I have no idea how to use this shit.
Yep.
I mean, I'm YouTubing stuff all the time. You know, how do I do this?
That's where it's at.
I call friends of mine. How would you do this? Well, I'll tell you what. Since you just want to tell me, I'll just come over and see you.
That's usually how it works. If you can, like, hey, I'm trying to do this. I'm like, well, what are you doing today? I'll come over. Oh, great.
Show me.
My plan worked.
Works out great.
Yeah.
Another topic I kind of wanted to talk about today, traveling. It was on my mind, and summer's coming up, spring's coming up, a lot of shows are coming up. Traveling to shows. What are some of the things that you take with you when you go to a show?
Well, obviously an engine.
Well, yeah.
Some money.
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
But
besides the obvious. Because there again, on the Facebook Portland page, people are asking, what do I bring to Portland? That's like you've never been to a show before.
All right, so Portland in general, when I go, I usually stay at the showground, so I always have some sort of accommodations to stay in. Now, that may be my truck, because I have slept.
I've slept in the blue oval inn several times. Oh, yeah.
The Dodge Ram Castle has graced my buttocks a few times, along with our one studio audience member. He has slept in there as well. My wife a few years ago bought me a rooftop tent.
Okay.
And it has been the best thing ever for engine shows.
Right.
It does not go on the roof of my truck. I got things that go across the bed, and I can have it on there.
Yeah.
But it pops up, and I can sleep in it, and it's got the comfort. For being a rooftop tent and a 2-inch tall mattress is the best sleep. Now, it might be because of where I'm at, but
I used to have a topper on my old F-250 and had a twin-size mattress I'd shove in the back of it. And if it was cold, I had me a little milk house heater, you know.
Oh, perfect. So I stay with my stuff because when I go to Portland or any show that I'm going to be there for multiple days, I'm usually taking A, stuff to show, and B, stuff to sell. And it doesn't matter what hobby it is or where you're at, people have sticky fingers.
Oh, yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
So I like to stay with my stuff. Have I ever had anything stolen? No. But just I guess me being paranoid. I guess the trip getting over to wherever you're going is probably more important than actually
spare tires.
Yeah. Spare tires, tools to change the tires, jacks, or I don't know if some of you know this, depending on what type of axles you have under your trailer, if you got like a 6x6 wood block, you can just drive your trailer up on that 6x6 wood block and get whatever flat tire you have, and you don't really need a jack. That's what I do sometimes. It drives my dad nuts.
The best jack I have found to take on road trips are those like little Simplex railroad jacks.
Yeah.
You know, you get your little 10-tonner. They're cheap. What, $50, $100 maybe?
Yeah, you get on Facebook, you can find them for
find them cheap, and they'll pick up just damn near anything.
Pretty much. And that's the biggest thing with like it never fails. You never get a flat tire when your trailer is empty.
No,
you get a flat tire mainly you probably have crap tires and your trailer's overloaded. But
years ago, I would never ever carry a spare tire with me. Never did. And
my dad is
knock on wood.
Yeah.
Never.
He won't go anywhere with me. We will go on a road trip somewhere, and he will go through the bed of my truck and ask, "Where's this? Where's this? Where's this?" before we can leave.
Anymore, I hate being broke down. I'm getting older. I'm getting crotchetier. Stay off my lawn. I'm taking a spare tire with me.
I don't like being on the side of a road trying to change a tire.
It's dangerous. People are stupid out there.
For anybody that's a tow truck driver, you have big cojones, because there's no way that I would be on a 4-lane highway.
Your testicles have skid plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will drag whatever I'm driving to a 2-lane road and get off the highway.
Well, tools and stuff to do that, and then you got to take gas can. Most shows do supply gas.
Yeah.
Some don't. And if they do, fine. If you can't, if you're angry about a show not supplying gas, a 2-gallon can of gas is a whole entire $6, $7. If that's going to keep you from going to a show, you got to find a different hobby.
Yeah, you need a different hobby.
I mean, yes, it's minimal, but you know, if 2 gallons is going to keep you from enjoying a weekend, man, your priorities in the wrong spot.
Depending on what type of engines you have, battery and coil.
Oh yeah,
that type of setup.
Good
now
call.
You showed me something.
Yes.
That where you take DeWalt batteries and an adapter.
Yep. I buy these little adapters off of eBay. You can get like 2 of them for $10.
Yeah.
And
I'll try to find them and link them, because how you have it set up, I've run my stuff, my battery and coil engines on my DeWalt batteries, but I always use just flat blade crimp-on ends and shove them in. What you have actually is like if you're taking a DeWalt battery and putting it in a drill or something, and you have it mounted inside of your battery box, and you can just take it drill. You know, that's perfect.
Snap it right in there.
Because it used to be back in the day, you get the small emergency light batteries, what we always used. Because they're small, because battery boxes,
and they're rechargeable too.
Yeah, and they're rechargeable because the battery boxes on engines aren't very big, and you don't really want to buy like a lawn garden battery, a lead acid lawn garden battery, because let's be real, these things don't run that much. You run them for a show season and then they sit all winter. But as we know, that's not good for a battery.
No.
So a rechargeable DeWalt drill battery,
and it's 20. I got the 20-volt stuff. You can use whatever voltage.
Is awesome.
And people have told me, well, that's just way too much voltage. You're only using that power just for a split second.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're sitting there, now if it was a throttle governed engine or something, I'd be a little more concerned about the coil or something breaking down. But for the hit and miss stuff, I mean, you're only using it for a split second. It's not going to hurt nothing. I haven't had no issues. I highly suggest it.
Yeah, I've run DeWalt batteries or just any sort of battery, like a drill battery, for I don't know how long, and I've never had issues.
I pack a charger with our stuff. We usually have the camper with us. We go to a show for multiple days. Throw the charger in there, keep it with us. If I'm just going to a show for a day, I'll just take 2 batteries with me.
Yeah.
But Greenville, Ohio show last year, that was my first time using the DeWalt setup. We ran 3 whole days on the little domestic engine, never charged it. And we could probably still, I don't know how long it would last, because I never had a fail, a go to it, don't go no more attempt.
Yeah, I don't know how. That might be
Try it out. I mean, you might have a Milwaukee. They make different ones from Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita.
The name brands.
Yeah.
You're going to find something.
Yeah. You're going to find something.
Something else to take if you're going for one day, multiple days. Bring some lawn chairs and a canopy.
Oh, yeah.
Most of these shows
absolutely
have no shade. They're usually in an open field. There's a few shows that you can go to that are just,
And them 10x10 pop easy ups or whatever, they're cheap.
You can go to Royal King or something like that,
Yeah.
Ollie's, Menards, and get one. They're cheap, and it is a good investment.
Cooler. You got to bring a cooler too.
Bring a cooler. Now, most of the shows have food.
Yes.
But, the whole idea.
It gets expensive though.
Well, it gets expensive, and if you're there and you're showing, my suggestion, this is me personally, don't walk away from your engines if they're running.
No.
Be in sight distance. You can go and BS with your buddies across the aisle or something like that. But we have nice shows because people are responsible and watch after their stuff.
Yeah.
And let's be real, people bring their children. People don't know. They can put their hands in places that they don't need to be.
And a lot of shows are requiring you to rope off now. Rope your display up, which. Yeah, it kind of takes away from the wow factor. But then again, it's like, okay, that's probably not a bad idea.
Well, the country's run by lawyers anymore, so
yes,
people get sued happy.
Oh, yeah.
So
unfortunately, you're right.
Yeah.
But what else would you take? Fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher would be good.
Those little teeny tiny.
You can get the little kitty ones. There's like a 2-pack at Home Depot for like $24.
Right. And these are just suggestions. I mean, you don't have to. Take oil.
Definitely oil. Speaking of oil, I'm gonna get a controversial topic. 30 weight non-detergent.
Oh my God.
Or just use whatever.
I use whatever.
I'm a non-detergent guy.
Really?
And I had the science, and whether it's true or not, I had the science put forth to me. So our engines are total loss oil systems.
Okay.
If you run, and I could be wrong, I'm sure I'll get corrected if I am.
Who cares?
Non-detergent oil will not suspend your solids, and it will let it flow out of the oil as it's flowing out. So like your Babbitt bearings and things like that, it won't suspend the solids in however the detergents work, and it lets the stuff dissipate out and flow.
Okay.
Where with a detergent oil, it can suspend and embed into your Babbitt.
Okay.
Does it matter for how long we run these things? Probably absolutely not. But I can find non-detergent 30 weight pretty easy here.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I have a hell of a time.
Tractor Supply Company.
Really?
Everyone around here has it. 30 weight non-detergent.
We got stores around the house there that they look at you like you got a third eye on your forehead.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what it is.
Right. And these young kids at these park houses are like, huh?
Tractor Supply is where I get mine.
Really?
Yep, I get it in quarts.
No kidding.
So
that's why it's running.
So that's why I use it. But if I couldn't find it,
I run whatever.
Gloves are off.
Yeah. I mean, I had an opportunity. The local part house sold out to a larger part company, and they were selling off their excess inventory, and I had the opportunity to buy, 10W30, 10W40, 5W20, just all kinds of oil at their cost, and I bought every bit of it because we're going to use it. And that's why I run whatever. Yeah. Any oil today is better than what we've had years ago. So that's the way I look at it.
Agreed. There was no API standard.
I don't even know what the hell that means, but okay.
American Petroleum Institute.
Okay.
Their oils have to reach a certain standard to be
I have no standard, so just run it. So grease, take your little tub of grease with you to a show too.
Yeah, and grease is something whatever. I just use whatever.
I like to run that the red tacky stuff because I just feel like it sticks to it better. Yeah. Now in our equipment and stuff at work, and we just run the cheapest stuff we can find because we're greasing a lot. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be a lot, but but I like that red tacky stuff because it sticks. Yeah. And then personally, I'll take that 80-90 Lucas stuff in that little jug. Mm-hmm. Drop a little bit of that on the timing gears and stuff. Quiets things up real nice.
I've had that suggested to me. I've never done it because I got a engine. It's that air motor up there. Somebody has meshed the timing gears. I think they reported Babbitt, and the timing gears are meshed a little bit too tight. Right. And if you put oil on it, it quiets it up, but it doesn't go away. It's not fixing the problem, but it makes it a little bit better.
I tell you how you can fix that without.
I want to make a new timing gear.
I wouldn't even worry about that. Try this.
Let it wear in.
Well, hold on. Try this before you get too crazy. And this is a little trick a lot of guys use, and Time Saver Lapping Compound.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever used it.
Great stuff. It's amazing how it works. They have the green stuff, which is for steel and cast iron, and then they have the yellow stuff, which is for Babbitt or softer materials.
Okay.
I use what you do. It's a powder. Just Google Time Saver Lapping Compound. They still make it. It's, I don't know, $30-$40 for a little thing, but you don't use a whole lot. You mix the powder with a little bit of oil, kind of make like a paste, slurry, whatever. And on the Babbitts, when I'm setting bearings in, which I hate. I hate doing that. It's a tedious job. I hate shimming. Terrible. You just pour some of that in there, and you're running it with. I use my lathe. You run it, and then just kind of tighten the bearing caps down a little bit more. You know, go the process back and forth until you get it to where you want it, and you just take clean oil and you flush it out, and it's done. But you can get some of that green stuff, mix some up, and try it.
I'll have to definitely give that a
try.
try.
I think that'll wear, it'll kind of wear itself in a little bit and help cut that cast iron back a little.
So what I thought about doing with that was making an offset pin for the gear to get my spacing out.
Yeah, you can.
Because that'd be easy to do.
Right.
Just put it in lathe and then readjust it.
Right. It'd be very difficult for me to do that, but
I can at least run a lathe.
Right. Why?
That's about the extent of my machine work.
Right.
So.
Yeah, if you're able to do that, probably with a 4-jaw chuck, offset it a little bit, and
it wouldn't need much.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's what I thought about doing with that, just to get rid of that noise.
Well, try it out. Let us know how
and
it
the
works.
thing with that engine, because it has a big galvanized hopper on it, it's like an amplifier.
Oh, yeah.
So it may not be really that bad
with
that hopper, because I run that thing so slow, I don't ever put water in it.
Right.
So that hopper's just sitting there vibrating.
Oh, my.
It's bad.
Oh. Well, you have to try it and let us know in about 14 years.
That's giving me credit.
Long-term project.
Yeah.
That is a nice engine up there.
That's the one I'm getting a new head.
Okay.
From Bill.
Bill Hazard.
Bill Hazard. Drew that head up for me. That's
Right.
going on that.
And people there again ask me, goes, how do you get a hold of these people? And there's really no general book or nothing like that. It's just kind of Bill don't advertise. I don't think he does. Just kind of word of mouth. He does enough to stay busy. He's a very busy person.
Yeah, I wouldn't advertise for him, but on here. But if you know Bill, and you can always reach out to him.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's our place to try to get him work, because I think he has plenty of work to do.
Nope. Yeah.
I don't want to flood him with.
Well, neither do I, because busy guy, top notch. There again, top notch quality.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that looks like a pretty. Is that a 5-horse?
Yeah, it's the 5-horse.
Okay. They made those in what, 2 sizes?
2.5 and 5.
2.5 and 5.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there's an engine up here for you people probably aren't.
I don't know if they can see it or not.
Yeah, they can see it, but people that are just listening on the podcast, I got an engine. It's called a 5-horse air motor, fluted hopper air motor. You'll have to Google it if you want to see what it is. But for those of you actually watching, it's that engine all the way up top. It's got the gas can next to it. It's got that big galvanized hopper. I've had that thing for a few years, and I had a brand new head made for it, literally brand new. It was drew up in CAD, copied from an original, and then recast in cast iron. And this gentleman, Bill Hazard, has done all the machine work on it. And I'm going to be picking that engine, or that head up at Coolsprings to get that engine back together. That's the only thing that's incorrect on that. So
Really?
And those things are uncommon. I don't know how many of the
They're not very popular.
Yeah, I don't know how many of the 5-horses there are out there, but there's not very many.
I haven't followed.
I've talked to a few guys. I've heard anywhere from like 6 to 10.
Really?
Yeah, I figured there was more than that, because I feel like I've seen more than that. But
I feel like I have too, but they're
I'm seeing
very.
the same ones all over.
Well, I know there's several of them floating around without the hoppers, because that fluted design on that hopper.
Yeah.
It looks like a waffle cone. Well,
I have no idea how they made that.
It's just unreal how they did that, because the folds and everything else is just like an engineering marvel.
Yeah.
In my book.
Yeah, it's folded and it tapers out, and then it's perfectly got a perfect circle in the center, because there's actually a pipe that runs up in the center.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's for support or what it is.
Right.
But yeah.
Now, Aeromotor, they made several engines, different models and stuff. Probably one of my favorites is those stupid little well pump engines.
The 8-cycle.
Yeah, those things are so cool. They are so simple, but so I don't know how the 8-cycle works, but they run great.
I've read, and it makes zero sense to me.
Well, I mean, I think they run great, and they look so dumb.
Yeah, they're just weird looking. They got a lot going on for what they are.
Well, they made 2 different versions of those. They made the regular governor, and they made the dog bone governor, and then they made 2 different versions of the fluted hoppers, like one like yours, a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Then they made the sausage hoppers.
They had the sausage hopper, and then I think there was actually another one that was a fluted hopper without the flutes.
Right.
And it was a single flywheel.
Yep, deep well.
Yeah, for pumping deep wells.
Yeah, I seen one of those here on Facebook not too long ago on Hit and Miss Engine Collector's site.
Yeah,
that's a great page that we put a lot of information on, and I pull a lot of information off of.
I love just seeing things that people are getting and pulling out.
Oh, absolutely.
That's I just love looking at the pictures.
Yeah. But there was one of those on here not too long ago. Very nice original engine. I think it was original.
Yeah.
If not, it was damn good repaint. But
there's guys that can do that.
There is. I mean, you did it yourself on your Galloway.
Yeah.
If you get on your Cast Iron Curiosities YouTube page, you can see the progress on that Galloway you did.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. It's get the popcorn out because it's like an hour and a half video. But
yeah, or just
watch it in bits and pieces.
Yeah, when you're sitting down, in your office in the mornings, getting ready for work or whatever, you can sit there and watch it.
Watch it on the way to work.
Yeah, there you
go. Unless you're driving, then
well, whatever. But no, that engine turned out great. I'm sitting here looking at it, and it's just like I walked in when I first got here, and I looked at it. I'm like, man, that thing's awesome. I'm like, that's just like a perfect original engine. He goes, well, I didn't. The head's all been repaired and everything else. I said, well, how did you match that paint? And that's another topic that we're going to dig into later on.
It was luck.
Well, I spent a lot of time trying to make paint look original.
There was an article years ago in Gas Engine Magazine about matching paint. I forget who did it. It was on a Rustin Hornsby, like Mark CR.
Right.
And somebody had, it was neat how they did it. They'd taken a paint that was close to it, and then to age it, they burn it.
Really?
And then
you would think it would like bubble, and I guess if you look at some of these original engines, some of the paint is bubbled.
So they burn it, and then with like a regular torch, not real hot, just enough to get some discoloration in it. And then at the very end of it, they turned the oxygen off, and it was a acetylene torch, and let the acetylene smoke, and they smoked the whole thing. And then they just rubbed that all in. And
I never thought about that.
It was neat. It's been years ago I seen that article. I forget who did it, but
I had never thought about that.
Yeah, it actually turned out pretty good.
I have taken paint and put vinegar in it and made it like a wash.
Yeah.
And it either works out or it don't. And a lot of times it don't. But I found this stuff, one of the stationary engine page, these guys over in the UK and stuff use this stuff, I forget what the hell it's called. They call it iron black or something like that.
Yeah.
So I ordered some. It's like iron paste.
Yeah.
That's what it is, iron paste. It's black. And if you have like a little spot or something, you just wipe that on there. It's just black. But don't get that stuff on your hands because you'll hardly ever get it off. It took me forever. I had it on
Prussian blue.
I had it on. Oh yeah, I had that stuff on my hands. I had it on my nose. I had it on my forehead because I'm sweating out there trying to. It was terrible. Finally got it all off, but it turned out really good. What I used it on, and it was that 10 horse type J Foose. Because I had to have a cylinder on it repaired or whatever, and wanted to blend it in. But that's some pretty cool stuff.
I think the GoPro quit.
Did it really? Oh damn.
Maybe not.
Oh well. Hey Jeremy, is our live studio audience doing all right? Is it still working? I can't see if it's it died.
That sucks.
Well, that's okay. We'll just kind of keep talking here for a few more minutes.
No, we're at 40 minutes right now. So.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can wrap it up if you wanted to.
Oh.
I think we've hit on some good topics today. In the future, I'd like to specifically talk about certain things.
Yeah, this one was kind of scatterbrained.
Yeah.
Because we were just shooting from the hip.
Yep.
But I'd like to involve the community.
Yeah.
The people that are listening. I'd love to hear things that you'd like to hear us talk about. Mm-hmm. get our opinion on or whatever.
Yep.
Not that our opinion matters, but
And some people says, well, hell, I'll call in and we'll talk about it. Well, we're going to get set up with that.
yeah, the podcasting equipment, we have the capability to
Take phone calls.
take phone calls. So if there somebody wants to chat with us,
Yeah.
you think they have something that would be good to share to the world,
Yeah.
we can do that. But,
Yeah. We're going to try to get together at least once more before Coolspring, which is middle of June.
yes.
And then, like we touched base on there, we're going to do a couple shows from Coolspring. I know we're going to talk to several people out there, and we'll probably do multiple segments on that, for each.
My thoughts on that is if we can get enough, 3 would be enough for me, 3 people to interview. I'd like to do a little series called something like Tales from Coolsprings or something along those lines.
I'm good with that.
And just be Coolspring based people that have either started the museum or that we feel are maybe somewhat influential into the hobby.
Right. And the thing is, there's going to be a lot more than just three people out there, because there's the volunteers out there.
We couldn't go to a place and get a better group of people to pick from.
Oh, it's unreal. Mike Murphy, if you've been to Coolspring, you've probably seen Mike running around. He's the dude with the man perm.
Yeah, he's got a frizzy
yeah,
head.
I mean, he lives 20 minutes from me, so we could probably talk to him just about whenever.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows where you live.
And that guy is a rocket scientist extraordinaire. Or
Literally.
He's a genius. He talks about stuff that's just like, Mike, you're going to have to dumb it down for me a little bit, because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I seen him. We was at Coolsprings one day, and he was staring up into the sky. And I walk over and I go, "What are you looking at?" And there was a helicopter up there, and he could tell by the exhaust note what engine was in the helicopter.
Right.
I don't know what it was. Oh, that's a Sikorsky such and such. I'm like, okay, Mike.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, I mean,
how do you know this?
He's just awesome. And then Kyle Kintner or whatever his name is, Kintner. He always gives Mike a rash of crap and everything else, because they're going to start building the Chris Austin Memorial.
Yeah.
New age diesel building or something eventually. And that's kind of a joke, but I really kind of hope they do it, because some of this newer age stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, new to us is what?
Well, yeah.
40s?
I guess so, yes. 40s, 50s, 60s, stuff like that. But, yeah, hopefully until then, we'll get back together before that show, and we hope so, more feedback. If you guys want to hear us talk about some stuff or what our thoughts are on things, we're kind of open to that.
Yeah, the more the merrier, and definitely going to be, like I said, a community involved.
Yeah.
So
hopefully next time we'll have, or sometime in our future, we'll have our live studio audience chime in.
He's telling us we're number 1 right now.
Yeah. Got a pilot's license for that bird. But I'd like to see, he's Jeremy McDonald, he's into the oil industry. And I'd kind of like to see or, hear his, thoughts and.
Well, like you mentioned, I'm used to it being where I'm at.
Right. I'm a flatlander, dude.
The oil industry's around me, and I have no connection. Well, yeah, I have no connection with the oil field per se, other than him. And he's been such a good resource for me.
Absolutely.
Finding things and, going on. There's still a few people around here that still drill.
Right.
And he's taken me to drilling rigs, which I find amazing.
Right.
How we drill.
And see, I don't have that where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm right at you're closer to the Pennsylvania line.
Yeah, I'm about 2 hours from the state border.
I'm 20 minutes from the Ohio-Indiana line, so we have nothing but flat. I mean,
you got cornfields.
Corn. I mean, everybody has them Salt Life stickers, and we have Corn Life stickers.
Well, maybe you can tell us about ethanol production.
I don't even know how it works. Couldn't tell you how it works. No idea. But there is a big ethanol plant just north of us.
We got one down here.
It's huge. But we'll touch base with that, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. And until next time, I mean, should run with a little tinkering, and just remember to add some gas, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So until next time, go get your hands dirty.
appreciate you guys listening.